Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Hot Topics, the show, the podcast where we create, inspire, and
Transform.
there you go. This is Gloria Goldberg, the founder of the podcast Unbreakable Life with Glory, where I talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD in a holistic way, a natural way to always make you feel better. And next to me, like always, my beautiful co host, Kia Baker.
Hey, it's your girl Kia, and I am the creator and host of the Female Veterans Podcast, Woman Warrior Stories, and success coach at London Real Academy, where we are launching a new course all about crypto. And I'm so excited to be a part of that. It's called DeFi. And if you want to know more about it, go to londonreal.tv and check it out. We have a big group this time. It's going to be really exciting. And we are going to be teaching everybody with zero knowledge about crypto to super savvy investors. And I'm excited to be a part of it. And always, moving forward and evolving with the times with London
Yeah.
Real Academy. So I'm excited about that.
So when that the course is gonna start?
I think it starts next week.
And
hmm
it's 8 weeks like the other ones?
Yeah, it's 8 weeks. And the cool thing about it, Gloria, is Brian is actually going to be one of the coaches this time.
I'm
So
kind of
I'm
I'm
really
kind of thinking
excited.
to enjoy that. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Let's see the times.
Yeah, yeah, well, check it out because you might really like it. I mean, there's so many cool people who have already signed up for the course, and we've got some of the great, most inspiring leaders, top level executives at London Real, jumping in and coaching on this and sharing their expertise. And I get to participate and support that and be a part of this new course as well. So I'm really excited. I will not be coaching on the first one, but I will be coaching on subsequent ones after that because, hey, I'm still learning about crypto too. And I have a finance background. A lot of people don't know that, but I have multiple finance degrees. So for my MBA. And so to me, this is right up my alley. And I'm a really
Yeah.
quick study. I've been studying crypto for almost a year now. And so this is all about it. This is all about um, decentralized currency, from the blockchain to mining to trading to
Right.
all of these aspects of this whole emerging market. So
Right.
I'm about that life and I'm super excited that we're doing this. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so excited that we come back again because we was like on and off, on and off. A lot of things are happening. And how
Yeah.
was your trip in LA?
Oh my gosh, LA was incredible. Like it
I
was really
saw.
fun. I had a lot of fun. So if you would like to know what I'm talking about, go to my Instagram page at Creativity. And in fact, if I'm on a lot of social platforms, I just did my first TikTok yesterday.
You
So
did?
if you're
Yeah, I
on
saw it.
TikTok, follow me at Creativity. And follow me on TikTok. Don't forget. And I'm new there, so I need friends. And so follow me. And on Instagram at Creativity. And that's where you can find out about my adventures and what I've been up to. Because I believe I told you guys that I'm going to be forming a production company. And so the
Yes.
first steps of that happened in Los Angeles on this trip. I met a lot of really cool women, and I will have an upcoming event. It's a women's empowerment event. So if you can travel by November, come and see me. I will be speaking at an event in San Diego for
Awesome.
ARRAS. That's ARRAS. You can find that organization online. My friend and mentor is the CEO, and she empowers women. She helps them with brand building and strategic planning and all these kinds of really cool stuff. And this is going to be her first summit. And I am so fortunate that I get to be a speaker there.
That's
So I'm
that's
excited.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And I am going to be putting a book together
You
really
do?
soon before the event. So stay tuned for that. It's about female veteran stories, and it will be coming soon. So I'll keep you guys updated as to what's going on with that. But that came about from this mastermind group from LA as well. So I got to run around the city. I love Santa Monica. It's probably one of my favorite places I've been so far.
Uh-huh.
And there's not much I don't love about LA.
Right.
Getting dressed up, going out. I got to see my friend and mentor, Christina Castaneda, who will be coming to Hot Topics Live to talk about her audio drama she has created called The Last Magician. And the series finale, I think, comes out in August. So around that time, she's going to come and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to binge it. Girl, the thing is good. I listened to a little bit of the first one when she was doing it, and I fell in love with audio drama. This is like a different form of podcasts, right? It's
Right.
storytelling.
Right.
It's like the old school radio shows back in the day, like World of Worlds and all of that. And it's incredible. So if you're into that kind of thing, you want to listen to stories, this is amazing. So it's called The Last Magician. You can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. And I got a chance to meet with her because she's in post-production.
Yeah.
And she had a good day in post, so she was able to come meet me out 2 times while I was in LA. And she's the most beautiful date ever. Shout out to Christina. We had a great
Yes.
time. Lots of amazing women this week and lots of adventures. And I filmed a bit as well.
That's awesome. I'm writing my book, but because I have like some difficult to write, my friend here in Uvita, truly, that she worked for many, many years in Hollywood, she said, Gloria, just record your story with your voice and your emotions, and then you find someone to translate that on writing. And I said, yes, I like that idea, but my idea is to have my audiobook with my voice. And she said, keep doing it. So I already have a lot of episodes already recorded with my voice. So I think by 2022, I'm going to have my book ready, but I'm so happy that she gave me that idea. So every night that I feel inspired, I just record it, whatever comes. And I'm so excited that I feel more relief to be able to do it that way, because writing for me, yes, I can write it, but it's not gonna come the way I feel this stuff. And the story of my life have a lot of emotions involved, and I think people will love more the story, but like listening to. I know people love to read, but in my case, because I like to do things in a different way, I'm gonna do it like an audiobook with my own voice. And of course, they have to go through different, like a edit edition and blah blah blah. But at least I'm doing already something that before I was like, oh, I need to sit down and write, and it was kind of hard for me. Now it's like, okay, this is time for showing, boom, 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 boom. And so happy for that idea of my friend.
I feel that. Actually, I got some advice like that, a little different years
Uh huh.
ago when I started writing before. And I was told, just write. Just write. Don't worry
Right.
about perfecting it. Just get it out of you and get it
Right.
on, get it into the computer. So that's what I did. And I have of the first book I started writing years ago. It's a novel about my experiences serving in the Navy. It's based on true events, but it is a fiction.
Right.
And that's how I got it. And I have there's 90,000 words in this type of book, and I have 30,000 to go. So next year, I will focus on that book. But I had an idea about a week ago about a collab book with me and some other female veterans. And that's what I'm going to be putting
Oh,
out
you told me about
very
that. I
quickly.
remember.
Yeah, I actually, while I was in LA, met a girl who does this.
That's
You see how it just
awesome.
aligns, and
Yes.
she's going to help me. So we're meeting next week. I met a lot of amazing women. Shout out to all the ladies that I met with incredible stories of triumph and overcoming obstacles while I was in LA. I got to be part of a cooking show that filmed and eat really amazing food. And I got to film a little teaser for my documentary that I am working on. And I actually got a lot of work done on it because I was alone. So I had one day where I had an afternoon to myself, and I was able to just sit down and like really work on the film treatment and really work on, aspects of getting that completed that I needed. I'm working on my pitch deck because I'm looking for financing for my
Right,
film. So
right,
I'm getting
right.
everything in order so that I can start approaching people and make this dream of mine a reality. Hi, George.
Hi,
We're back,
George.
honey. I think
Oh,
it's safe to say we're back, right?
yeah, we're
You're
back.
adjusted
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Maybe there's
back
a
from my trip.
yeah, little things that can happen, but we
Yeah,
run hot topics that way, so
I
it's what
think
it
we're back,
is.
honey.
Yes, 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 yes. So Kia, I'm in Costa Rica. For a lot of people that is watching the show today for the first time, I'm in Costa Rica. I don't know if I can say I'm an expat, but I can say an expat,
You
right?
can say whatever the hell you want to say.
Yeah, okay, I'm an expat. And because I'm an expat, I met other expats. And the guest that we have today is amazing. He's an expat and he have a very cool story why he came here to Costa Rica and what he's doing. And the most thing that I like about the whole story was that he was sitting down working and he got like a fed up for his job and he said, "Done, I'm going to Costa Rica." And then he saw everything, he burned everything, he gave everything away, and he said, "I'm going away, I'm going to Costa Rica," and he's here. So I said to him, "You know what? I love your story. It's very unique because I know a lot of people are stuck in their jobs. They don't know what to do, and they're to make decisions in life are very difficult." And he got this powerful mind that said, "You know what? I'm going. I'm selling everything and pack and go." So I love that. And he's a photographer and a videographer, right?
Videographer.
Videographer, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bring him in, and his name is Ed Sharp. So let's welcome.
Hey there, everybody. Squeeze in here.
Today
And
is a different.
in our
Today is a different, but here it is.
the little impromptu change to your studio, I imagine, just to get me in here. But yeah, hey everybody, and I'm both honored and terrified to be here. I'm comfortable behind the camera, although lately, doing my YouTube channel, I've been forced to like be the on-screen talent, as I say. And reluctantly, I do it, but yeah, I like to, it's part of telling the story. I need to do it, so I'm here. And I'm in, like you told me before, I'm in good hands, so
You
I'm
are.
trusting you. Be gentle with me.
Okay, so I have a question.
All right,
First
fire
of
away,
all,
man.
welcome. And I'm so excited for you to be a guest today. So thank you for coming. And you mentioned you have a YouTube channel, and I saw a little bit of a video about monkeys in Costa Rica. So tell me about that. What inspired you to create this YouTube channel?
Oh yeah. The initial inspiration, I guess, was watching other YouTube channels, and I was always interested in what their life was in the States. The people that were actually living in Costa Rica now. So it was a good idea to do it because now I look back at it and I'm such a different person back then. So I kind of documented the process of, it was 2020 and it was COVID and it was disappointments. It was 2020 was so many different things to so many different people, and it was, if you were planning on going to Costa Rica in 2020, you were out of luck. So there was a lot of that disappointment, but there was also like Gloria was talking about my process of kind of purging things. I had to get rid of so much stuff because I owned a house and it was full of possessions, and your possessions kind of become they're an anchor. They drag you down sometimes. So I sold a lot of stuff. I gave away a lot of stuff, and some stuff I lived out in the country, so I had a big bonfire, and I burned a bunch of furniture, and it was almost ritualistic. It was just it was cathartic to do that. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting. It's in one of the episodes from way back when. It seems like a lifetime ago, actually.
So you started this channel last year.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
think
it's incredible.
I think it was May. May was the first video I did. It was like early May, and we had a snowstorm. I'm like, no, I live in upstate. I don't live. I used to live in upstate New York, so I know you're from Hershey, so you know all about the snow and stuff like that. So it snowed in May, and it's not supposed to snow in May. And it kind of, so I did a little video about that, and that was kind of like, it gave me a little boost about wanting to change my situation. And yeah, that was one of my first videos, and I wasn't really consistent at first. And then as it went on, I had more to say. So it was, and working at home, I mean, my God, working at home was so, oh, I felt like The Shining. You know, you're just kind of isolated in there. You get cabin fever. You get, I have so many outtakes that I would be embarrassed to upload because you just get so wacky when you're in the home. I was literally by myself. I used to working with all my coworkers, and it was nice not having the drive, but I really missed the human contact, you know. And that's part of what I'm really looking forward to with my YouTube channel is it's Costa Rica Story. So I want to tell the stories of Costa Rica, the people, the nature, the wildlife, and there's just so much here. And I'm just so excited to be here. I've been here like just over like a month and a half, and I don't have a car yet, so I've been doing a lot of walking. And there's where I live. I'm very lucky because yeah, we were talking about monkeys. I mean, there's not monkeys like trying to get into my house like crazy monkey. That would be cool. But I mean, I get visitations from monkeys on a regular basis, and as I've always kind of been obsessed with monkeys, and you know, Gloria's kind of tried to assess where that started with me, and I can't really put a finger on it. Ever since I was a little kid, I just thought monkeys were cool.
Me
And
too. I feel
and
that.
and it's so cool. I mean, I have to pinch myself. I'm out in my yard, and there's monkeys up in the tree. They're running around, and there's the
It's
mama
really
monkey, and
awesome.
yeah, it's just, and it's for a photographer. It's like, wow, you know, I do have to spend a lot of time waiting, like especially with the howler monkeys. You have to wait for them to finish napping, and then they might move around. You might be able to see them, and you know, look between the leaves way up there because you know I've got a big lens on there to get to them. But I really, it's just such an honor to be in the presence of so much nature. You've got have you ever seen the blue morph butterflies? They're like
Mhm.
these, they're almost like they're not real. They're just like, they they do this kind of thing, almost like they're a Disney product. You know, they're not real. And there's hummingbirds, and I haven't got out very much to see a lot of the area. So a lot of what I've been doing is on foot. I've lost a lot of weight. I wouldn't say a lot. I've lost a decent amount of weight just because I've changed my eating habits a lot, which is one of my goals. 'Cause I ate like really, really bad in the States. I don't eat meat, so you would think you could call me a vegetarian, but I don't really like vegetables. So then people go, well, what the heck do you eat? It's like pizza, peanut butter, like carby type things. So I'm trying to break away from that. I mean, I allow myself a little bit now and then, but there's so many healthy alternatives here. It's great. So there's a lot of fresh food, and I'm going out to dinner because where I used to live in the States, it was like there was no place I could actually like walk to go to dinner. And like where I live now, I'm within walking distance of a lot of really, really, really good restaurants, and there's like little coffee shops, and Gloria's taken me and the gang out to a lot of good places, and she always knows the places with the best views. Oh my God, some of these places. You're coming to? You
You
want
know
to
I'm
come to
gonna be
visit?
there.
You're gonna love it, love it, love it.
Especially if there's monkeys everywhere.
Oh my God, there are places where I mean you can see monkeys on demand pretty much. I mean like
Yes.
I love
oh
that.
yeah, and yeah, it's somebody was saying it's like, oh Ed, it's like you're living in National Geographic when I saw some of the footage I had, and it's like the and it does feel like that sometimes, but when the capuchin monkeys came in, they were they're like the ones with the white face. They have a completely different personality than the howler monkeys. The howler monkeys are like really laid back and mellow kind of guys. These guys come in and it's like Jumanji, and so it's like the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz. They just come through, and like at one point there was a hanging bird's nest, and I'd been watching it for a month or so, and I knew that the babies had flown out, so there was no longer anything in it. But this monkey comes down, and he's after that nest because you know monkeys eat eggs, and
Mm.
monkeys eat just about. They're omnivores, and there's also, I mean, really omnivores. So the monkey's there, like, maybe 15 feet away from me, and he's like yanking on that bird's nest, and I'm going, monkey, get away from that bird's nest. And the monkey's looking at me like, who are you? What are you doing here, gringo? Get out of here. This is my jungle. And they're fast enough. They know that they don't really have to, be too worried, because there's no way that I'm gonna go and grab them or anything. Not that I want to. But yeah, I've got some footage of a monkey eating a squirrel. Believe it or not. That was
Ew!
yeah,
Oh my god!
exactly.
And I'm not a huge fan of squirrels to begin
No.
with, but seriously,
Oh, it was barbaric.
yuck.
When I first saw it, I was like, I thought he was carrying like maybe a dead monkey or something, because it was like going back and forth, and it was like, oh, that's that little black squirrel that was running up
Oh,
there. But like the points that I think I'll make with that video is that a monkey's not bad because he does that. A monkey's not bad because he raids
oh.
a bird's nest. Monkeys are monkeys, and a lot of times we put human traits on
Hmm.
monkeys because they're so much like us. And I mean, I'm definitely guilty of it. You look at it, especially a howler monkey. You look at how they are, and it's like, wow, they are just so similar to us. But like the people that want a monkey for a pet and put a diaper on a monkey and keep a monkey, and that's just totally wrong, because a monkey in the wild is so valuable compared to a monkey that's a you know a pet. I mean, there's a lot of rehab places that will take care of monkeys, and they have to do that kind of thing. But the people that want a monkey as a pet, no, just think about it. No, you don't want a monkey for a pet. Come and see the monkey
Wow.
in the jungle.
Well, I agree with you. Like, I have definitely Jane Goodall vibes from
Yeah, yeah,
from this conversation, which I love Jane Goodall. So if you don't know who that is,
yeah,
then please Google it.
yeah.
Please do yourself a favor, especially if you love monkeys and apes and all of that kind of thing, which I do. But one of the things here that I like where I live in the Pacific Northwest is we don't go to the zoo, because the zoo typically makes me feel sad when I go. But
Yes.
there's this amazing place out here. I think it's on 100 acres, and it's a wildlife preserve, and these people bought land here in like the 1920s, and they turned it into their family for generations, have kept it as this wildlife preserve, and you can go see all of the animals that are natural to this area.
Wow, that's cool.
And the way they have it set up is really nice. So that's where I take the kids, and we go to see them in their natural habitat. But it's sort of like fenced off in a way, but it also looks natural. The way they've done it is really creative to make sure that the animals still feel like they're in their own home, not like they're in a zoo, and you're almost feeling like you're in nature when you go, and you have to take like a little tram ride through the countryside basically. And you get to see bears, and you get to see all these different animals in their natural habitat, and I love that. And I think that that's what kind of Costa Rica sounds like, where I could just go see all of these animals with respect to their home.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, especially for kids, to experience things like that.
Hmm.
Like a lot of kids in the city don't get a chance to experience animals other than maybe a random squirrel or a
Hmm.
rat dragging a pizza in New York City or something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean it's a total different vibe here in Costa Rica. So I'm sure that you're gonna love it.
Angelina says she loves animals.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love that. By the way, estoy muy bien, mami, tía Lucy.
Leah and Lucy, my mother, mami hermosa. Hola, ¿cómo está?
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Ed.
Uh-oh, now I'm worried.
So the question is, we're gonna leave a little bit the monkeys. We're gonna bring the monkeys later, but now I want to go a little bit deep. I want
Uh-oh.
you to express what happens to you in the moment that you decide. What was your aha moment for you to decide to come to Costa Rica and leave everything behind?
Huh. Well, I kind of have to divide it into a couple of different aha moments, because there's an aha moment where you realize that this isn't working, my current situation isn't working. So there's that aha moment. Then there's aha moment like, oh, Costa Rica is the place to go. And and I actually can't pinpoint the time because it's almost like a gradual thing. But my first my first thing was I just realized that my job, I didn't have the satisfaction at my job, and it wasn't financially getting me where I needed to be. So I made a decision that, okay, we need to get out of here, and that's probably been, that was probably at least 2 or 3 years in the making, like kind of percolating in the back of my mind, and kind of like pipe dreaming things. And I was looking at different places. I was thinking of Arizona, because I really don't like the cold anymore. When I was young, I used to love the winter sports and all that kind of stuff. But as I got older, it was like, you know, winter becomes, oh, I have to go out and shovel the snow so I can go to work. I have to drive to work in the snow. And so my dream destination was going to be somewhere with palm trees probably, and no snow. So that was my dream. And then I was looking at different places in Florida, and just like some of the things I live in a rural area, so I kind of wanted to keep that vibe. And I ended up just looking at a video on Costa Rica, and one thing led to another. Like you kind of get sucked in. I'm sure you've all been on YouTube and you're on a topic, then all of a sudden you get suggested these other videos. Then all of a sudden you start watching one, like I think it was Michael Allen from TravelCostaRicaNow.com. He's got like a ton of Costa Rica videos, and he's the kind of guy that'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of a place to go. And that's what I wanted. I didn't, there's so many like sugar-coated things about, Costa Rica or any place, but like he had some really straight shooting. Like, it's not perfect. You might not like it. It's not gonna, you put your toilet paper in the wastebasket, you don't flush it, that kind of thing. There's some weird things in Costa Rica that some people might not be able to handle. And then I got into Sarah Elena's video channel, and she started this program where she helps people move to Costa Rica. And that's the thing that Gloria and I have in common, because we both were on her YouTube or her Facebook group, and we both used her services to move here. So we kind of met at an expat thing, and so we've got a little circle of expats that that's my GoPro turning off. Sorry about that. We've got a circle of expats that were clients of Sarah's, and we kind of do stuff together. And Gloria's kind of an alpha. She's kind of like, she gets us motivated. If she's kind of like, what are you guys doing just sitting around? Like, she called me up and like, I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was like, because she gets me out of my comfort zone quite a bit, which is good. If you know her, I guess you probably know that she's got that quality. And everybody knows that she's the person to kind of get things going. So I kind of defer to her like about doing stuff which I normally wouldn't do. But with Costa Rica, I'm like more flexible. So like I have no problem, because she makes good decisions. Like the first restaurant she took me to was a 360. She'll take you to that when you come. It's like, I don't even want to spoil it for you, because it's such a great experience. Every experience here is great, really. I'm sugarcoating it, but it's so it's refreshing after you've been in the States and kind of fed up with things. So, one of the important things is to have the proper expectations, because I do see people come here with vacation expectations, and I'd never been here before. So that's why a lot of people are like, what? You've never been there? Why did you move there? And I really can't answer that, other than like from a research point of view, it met all my check boxes. And I also had this weird thing about the whale tail, and the whale tail is it's a sandbar formation out past Bahia. It's actually like outside of Uvita, and it's at low tide, it's a shape of a whale tail. And I don't know have you ever seen Close Encounters of the Third? No, not Close Encounters. What's the with Richard Dreyfuss in it? About oh God, I should have done my research before I did this. Well, there's a movie with Richard Dreyfuss and aliens in it. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Richard Dreyfuss is obsessed with this mountain. It's it's the shape of this mountain is in his brain. He can't get it out, and he's making it out of mashed potatoes. He makes a sculpture in his living room out of mud, and it kind of like the whale tail. It was kind of in my brain like that. Not to that excess, but it's like whenever I saw it, I was like, I got this kind of feeling like, wow, I have to get in that vibe. It's like it's I don't know, kind of it's a weird thing. I'm a skeptical person. You can ask Gloria. I'm skeptical about everything, but I just was kind of it was I hate to say because she says this all the time. But it was a sign kind of. I'm kind of embarrassed to say that, but I mean it's kind of a guiding thing. And when I first went there at low tide and experienced, I was like I had chills going up and down my spine. And I've flown my drone actually from where I live to the whale tail and back, and got some footage of that. That was pretty cool. It was one of my things I needed to do, but I need to do more video there. You need to visit there. You need to come here.
I will come
Soon.
before one 365-day cycle from the time she arrived there. I will be there.
That's
So that is in the works. I just don't know how soon, but it's going to happen because I love greenery and I love nature, and I like to go places. I love to travel and see new things. Also, I totally can vibe with the fact that Gloria takes you to great restaurants because I know her. Second of all, I know that she would be the alpha because, well, she's an alpha. Second of all, and so everything you say really makes a lot of sense to me about connecting with Gloria and her telling you that it's a sign because she's right. But, but I would say that it sounds amazing, your experience so far, from just deciding, hey, I'm getting out of here. Where am I going? This is where I'm going. And then pulling the trigger and making it happen. When your dream was just, I just don't want to be in upstate New York anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And there's so many people that I think want to do that, but it's just so hard. It was kind of perfect timing for me. I love pets, but for a long time I haven't had any pets. And I think in the back of my mind I was like, you're going to be doing this. I think my subconscious drives me more than I think it does because it's
Hmm. All of us.
I didn't have a pet for a long time because I think I was thinking you're going to be making this move and you're going to be doing something different. So I don't know. I'm here and I'm like I'm not sure why, but it was the right decision. It's weird how it happened like that. It's and I'm a pessimist, or not a pessimist. I'm a skeptic, not a pessimist. I'm definitely an optimist. So I'm skeptic. That's what I am.
I'm a skeptic too.
Kia's a skeptic,
I
yes.
am a big time skeptic.
Big time, yes.
I'm so nice that people think that I'm naive, like I'm gullible, but really, and I'm exceedingly positive as a person. Like I'm about that positive psychology life. However, I am a big skeptic. Truth be told, I don't believe anything
Yeah.
at all.
Same,
Like, I'm
same.
open to everything, but
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
always
Exactly.
shady side eyeing it
Hmm.
all the
Exactly.
time. Hmm.
I think that's the healthy way to go through life because open mind and skepticism, it both keeps you safe and it keeps you open to new experiences. Like, just for instance, and I don't know if this is a bad topic, but just like it's a hot topic. Um, like we're talking about like being born in July because I was born in July and she's born in July. She says, "Oh, you're born in July," and she's listing off all these qualities, and it was like, yeah, I was agreeing with it, but it wasn't because I was born in July that I had the qualities, I, but I'm open. Like, okay, explain to me how this works. Maybe there's something to it.
Astrology.
Yeah,
Numbers.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And I am because of, with Gloria. A lot of times I'll just go with what she's doing, and it seems to work. So I tend to keep doing that. Like today, like this show, she asked me to do the show, and I didn't this is way out of my comfort zone. And then to top it off, I was thinking, okay, someday I'll do the show, maybe in a month or so. I'm thinking in my head, and then she calls me this morning. She goes, Ed, Kia says we could do the show today, and I was like, today? And I'm like, I better not hem and haw about this. I better just do it. It's easier than trying to fight it. So I just like, yeah, I can do that today. And I was doing a little editing that can be done at any time, so that was not a big deal. So I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got to come here to meet you.
Wise choice.
Yeah,
It is always a wise choice to listen to Gloria.
yeah. I'm
If you
fine.
know her, you
If
should
I know,
probably at least take into account her suggestions.
yeah,
Also, the part about getting out of your comfort zone. So that's what we are about. Okay. We are all about getting out of your comfort zone because nothing really grows there.
right.
That's where you're sedentary and complacent and comfortable. And in order to create any positive change in your life, you've got to get a little bit uncomfortable. And my experience for the last, I don't know, almost 4 years has been because that's where when I left my comfort zone that I'd been in for 13 years. Um, a lot of incredible, amazing opportunities and adventures have happened for me personally. And I can only speak from my experience, and from what I've seen around me. But the circles that I tend to travel in are people who are afraid to leave their comfort zone, surely, but they continually push themselves out of it and continue to try to evolve and change and grow in various aspects of their life. And we have sometimes bad things happen for sure, but we don't take it as detrimental to our progress. We see it as part of our progress, and we use those things to grow. And it's like a lesson. So we don't take any losses, not in our tribe, not in our crew. We learn the lesson, and then we use that to keep it moving us forward towards whatever we want to do. So I think you are pretty inspirational personally,
Thank
like
you.
just deciding to leave New York and go somewhere you'd never been. That's something I would do.
Yeah.
So in
Well,
fact, I've
then,
done it. I've done it a few times where I just go somewhere. When I left for the Navy, I'd never been out of Pennsylvania, so then I ended up in Illinois by Chicago and had a great adventure there. And then I ended up in Miami, or actually I ended up in Arizona. That was where I moved, where I had never been before. And I just said, okay, we're going to go to Arizona and check it out. And that was pretty cool. And I spent almost a year there. And then I left back to Chicago because I loved it and I missed it. And I moved to downtown Chicago where I'd never lived before. Not downtown like Andersonville, just north of Wrigleyville. Anybody who's from Chicago watching, you know where that is. And so I lived there. And then I left to Miami, which I'd never lived. And I lived there for 4 years. And now I'm here in the Pacific Northwest where I never lived. And I really love exploring, right? And I love traveling. So I mean, I'd never been to LA the first time I went and got a chance to hang out there. So I actually love to go to places where I know a person. And fortunately now, because I got out of my comfort zone, I know people literally all around the world.
yeah.
So I can go visit and just have someone I know there and have that wonderful experience. So I think it's really cool what you did. And I love the whole concept of your YouTube channel about the monkeys. I'm going to check that out. I really do like monkeys. And I do like to, when I was young, I used to dream about having one in a pamper and having this baby monkey to take care of until I realized that would be horrible for them.
Yeah. Not only that,
Um,
you'd have to change the diapers too. That wouldn't
yeah,
be much fun.
yeah, right, right. I haven't had enough of changing diapers with my kids and my dog. I just was changing diapers for
Really?
my dog for a year.
Wow.
He
Yeah.
was incontinent before I had to unfortunately put him down a couple of weeks ago. But
Oh, sorry.
yeah, I've had enough of changing diapers, I think, for a little while till I decide to have another
Wow.
baby, if I decide that.
Keeping the window open there. I see. Okay.
You never know what will happen. I lean into the fear. And I just do what I want. So tell me, you guys are enjoying Costa Rica and you're having wonderful adventures there with, it sounds like, your expat crew.
Yes.
So what are some of the things that you guys have been doing? I see lots of cool things on Gloria's Instagram at Gloria Gold 1111.
Well, well, I have a little bit of disadvantage of other expat because some expats comes here and they're not ready to buy a car, or they're not ready to pull the trigger completely because they are like in the stage of knowing what they're gonna do. In my case, I said no, I'm gonna rent a car, so I'm the one who have the car, so I have more the opportunity to know more places. And I've been in Fortuna, it's like a 5 hours away from here, and I go to San Jose already like 3 times, to go to Dominical, like different places, and being adventure. And like I know waterfalls, like with my friend Truly, there's another expat. She didn't know about this waterfall because she don't have a car. And I said, don't worry, you are like my mother. She's like 70 and she's so cool. And I said, you are my mother here in Costa Rica. So every time I want to go places, she's the first one to go with me. So we've been through a lot of stuff. Like next week, we going to San Jose because I need to go to see my doctor. And then we're gonna go to Limon, and Limon is the Caribbean part of Costa Rica. So I have
Mm.
that, and now that I met a like a long time, but it was a big meeting. Remember I told you I have a big meeting with expats, Kia?
It was like a dinner.
Yes, I do remember that. Remember I told you you were going to meet a guy there?
Yeah, you told me that. And then that day I came late for that meeting because I have my problem with my arm. And then he was there, but he was leaving. So I stay talking to other expats. We talk a lot, blah, blah, blah. And then Truly met him for breakfast one day, like a coffee breakfast. And Truly said, oh, we need to hook that with Ed so we can make all things together because a lot of people come here alone. Mostly people come here alone. So we need to be more like, okay, let's get together. We all eat outside of the house mostly time. So we go places together. We meet in a place together. So that's why I met more Ed because I picked him up like a week ago, and on a Sunday, and I said, hey, not knowing him too much, and I called him and said, hey Ed, remember me? It's Gloria. You want to be out of your comfort zone? We're going to see Truly that she is an ojo child, and then we're gonna have the lunch. And he said, okay.
Yeah, my initial response would be like, no, I'm not really up for that. But it was like, I'm in Costa Rica. I'm trying to rewrite the script a little bit. I'm trying to get out of the comfort zone, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought that myself about getting out of the comfort zone. I've kind of subscribed to that school, except maybe didn't act on it like I should. I know the concept, but that's the good thing about going around with her because like Gloria will be like we're gonna shoot some video for some of her other show there, and we've been talking about it. And she calls me up and said, look, we need to set a date to do this. We can't just talk about this. We're gonna do it. Everybody always talks about doing things, and things don't get done. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I need that kind of influence. So she's a really good influence on me. So when you like, I was talking about one of my videos I did that the people that you meet when you first get to some place are really important because it kind of takes you off into whatever direction you're going to go. And I've met some really, really good people here, and she's one of them. And I'm just, I'm, without the people that you meet here, it's a beautiful place and everything. But you're going to feel awful lonely if you don't have friends here. So, that's a mental health thing you could talk about on mental health stuff. Even it's nice to know people. And I've met a lot of Ticos here, and just to clarify, Tico is not a derogatory term. Some people think that that's kind of a derogatory term. It's not, because Ticos call themselves Ticos, like, and expats call themselves expats or gringos. And gringos not really a derogatory term. I mean, it could be, depends how you say it, I guess. But yeah, I've got a lot of friends on both country sides, I guess. Many countrysides. Oh God, there's people from, see, uh, Argentina,
Panama,
Panama. I mean,
Nicaragua.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just people from all over, all over. Everybody wants to come here.
Yes.
If you come, you may want to stay.
I will.
We can make that happen.
No, Kia's more fancy. She like more fancy life.
Yeah, but I will come for like 6 months out of the year.
There
And
you
then I
go.
have to
Right,
go be
right.
fancy. I have two sides to my personality.
Well, she'll definitely like the 360.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will enjoy coming and spending time in Costa Rica. Actually, so Costa Rica got onto my radar in my 20s. One of my good girlfriends from the Navy, her uncle relocated to Costa Rica back then in like the late 80s, early 90s. And so years and years ago, I used to hear about how beautiful it was because when she got married, her uncle came to the wedding and he was telling me all about Costa Rica and how beautiful it was there and to go there. So I was always sort of in the back of my mind for a really long time. And then I have a friend who actually lives there. He is an educator. And I think in the 20 teens, so maybe like 2013, 2014, he came to visit me and he was like, you would love Costa Rica. You should move. And he was like, you would love it. You could teach English. Like you would have a great life there. The cost of living is very, nice. And I thought, well, perhaps when I retire, I will consider Costa Rica as an option. And now Gloria decided that was her dream to go to Costa Rica. And I said, I've always wanted to go. So there she is, creating a life there that I get to go pop in on and experience when the timing is right, everything in divine timing. Of course. So it's been on my radar for a while, and I will be thrilled to spend some time there and have some adventures with you guys.
Awesome.
We'll get the monkeys ready for you.
Yeah. I will just literally watch monkeys play for hours. That
Oh
will
my
be
God,
really,
see, it sounds,
really
It's
fun for
awesome.
me.
it's like a pinch yourself kind of moment. You're like, these monkeys are wild. They're like right here. It's like,
Yeah, that's incredible. We have actually a monkey mascot for Hot Topics Live. He makes an
oh
appearance
really?
on the
Oh,
show
my
e-
monkey.
every now and again.
Yeah.
I was actually
So
playing with this monkey before I
Yeah,
went
he's
on.
my monkey.
I was. It was my emotional support monkey before I came on because I was kind of stressed.
and so so tell me, Ed, now that you have been a guest on Hot Topics, how are you feeling?
A little sweaty, but other than that, I feel. I'm glad I came on. I love talking, and you know, I I like shows like this. I'm a big fan of The View, and I haven't been able to watch The View since I've been here because I don't really have that. I probably could if I tried. You can really watch anything you want, but I've been kind of preoccupied, so it's almost like I was on The View with the ladies from The View. I don't know if you're fans of that show or not, but
I do like The View. I don't watch it. I actually went to see, it wasn't The View that I was live in the audience for, but The Talk. So it's very
oh
similar.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
And I went to see that live 2 years ago. And when I went to LA, actually, I went to see my friend who is an actress in Los Angeles this past week. We met in Calabasas for lunch. It was really, really nice. And she worked on that show. And she was sort of the stand in for Eve. And so she got us tickets to go and see it. And it was
oh
really, really cool. And now, well, she is part of the Marvel universe. And I can't wait to see what big things are coming for her. But yeah, that was a
oh, that's
great
pretty cool.
experience. And I do actually like The View. I love Whoopi Goldberg, first of all.
Yes,
Let's just put that out
she
there right
she
now.
she's just so wise and she's so cool and yeah. And when she's not on the show, I'm like, oh, like on Friday she won't be
She
here. I'm
is
like,
incredible.
yeah, she is.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, little known fact, when I was in high school, speaking of Whoopi Goldberg, here's the tie-in. When I was in high school, I was in the theater program, right? So I got to play a role that she played in Serafina for a stage production. It was
Oh,
really cool. We actually won an award at competition for that.
oh,
So I just love Whoopi Goldberg. I studied her a lot for that role.
you're
I like her because my last name.
that's right. Yeah.
That's right. That's
Kia, you
right.
are a woman of many talents. It's like I didn't, you got all these things going. So,
You know what's really funny about all of that? I do a lot of these things, and this is real talk. Okay. I do a lot of these things, and I am really creative and I love to create, but I'm also sick 100% of the time. So everything that I do is a struggle. Every single day is a struggle. Doing this right now, I'm so tired. You wouldn't even believe how tired I am. Yesterday, I slept 90% of the day after my trip because I was so busy and active the whole time. So, when you live with invisible illnesses, people don't often see the struggle, but the struggle is real. So, I just like to mention that from time to time because everything I do, my comfort zone is in my bed. I could be in my bed and live my life there, if I didn't do everything I do to continue to keep moving. So it's always a struggle, but I do it because I want to get the best out of my life. I always pursue my highest excitement, and that's what gives me joy. So to feel joy in life, if you pursue what makes you happy relentlessly, then you can have a really joyful life even if you're really sick. A lot of times you can find a way. The thing is the mindset. Yeah.
yeah, that surprises me because I'm watching you with this energy level that's so amazing. I mean, you must be a very strong person. You're both strong people here, strong women. I love strong women.
Oh, I love a man who loves strong women. How about that?
Yeah,
How about that?
because strong women are so difficult to handle, but
It's worth it.
it's worth it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we have
So
51 minutes to go.
yeah, so okay, so one more question then before we say goodbye to you, Ed, and we wrap up the show. So tell me, what would you say to people who are considering relocating because they're just unhappy with the way their life is? What advice would you give them?
Um, Number one would be do your research. I mean, I'm probably a bad guy to give advice to other people, but I would say do your research. Do your research about where you want to go. Find out what's important to you. Is it important for you to have wilderness? Is it important to you to have maybe if you have a medical condition or something you need to be in your hospital or whatever? But do your research. Talk to other people that have done it, and I mean, don't be you get one shot at life, and like you don't want to be stuck somewhere where you wake up. I used to wake up. I used to start on Sunday night. I used to be like, oh crap, it's Sunday night. I got to go to work tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. You'd kind of Sunday itself would be kind of ruined. Friday would be great, like the end of the day Friday, and then you come around to towards Monday and it's I think you just follow your heart and be smart about things. Plan better than I mean, I kind of just threw myself in, kind of, but that's kind of how I have to do things, I guess, or it's kind of how I do things. But I'm doing what I do. Like one of the things I'm working on. I'm doing a project where I want to showcase like some of the small businesses in Uvita because so many places have really suffered from the lack of tourism because of COVID, and it's kind of like I know that you're working towards doing like a real documentary kind of thing. I'm kind of doing like mini documentaries. I like the format of doing documentaries like storytelling of like my story isn't really what I'm about. I'm really about when it comes down to it, like telling the stories of all these different small businesses because it's so funny. Not haha funny, but it's so interesting. Every person is like a little mini movie. They've got their whole life, and it's you guys know it better than me because that's what you do every day. It's like you come on and you find people's little stories, and it's got to be interesting. So I share that with you guys. I'm fascinated by people and their stories, so keep doing that. And Can you tell me a little bit? I'm not interviewing you, but I'm curious about the documentary you're doing. Do you have a topic you're working on, and what's that
Mhm.
about? And
So it turns out that I love documentaries. I always have. But now, as a female veteran and working with a lot of female veterans, the stories are so important to me and getting them out there because, as you can imagine, there is a culture of silence that surround our stories, especially women. I mean, veterans in general, but especially women, right? And in the big screen, you'll see the stories of men, and you'll see, there's tons of military movies, right? But you don't see a lot of them based around women's stories. I think I can think of maybe one or two. So getting our stories out there is really important to me, which is why I do the Female Veterans podcast and Woman Warrior Stories, why I created that show as well. Now, this documentary is based on the 6888. And there is a documentary that I recommend everyone to go look at. It is called the 6888. And it tells you the story of what they did and a little bit about the women who served in that unit in World War II. My documentary, the tentative title is called John Smith, United States Army, and it is actually about women and minority groups who served in World War II who have won the Congressional Gold Medal, and the story surrounding sort of the journey to award the 6888 the Congressional Gold Medal. And that's essentially what it's about. And sort of what that journey has been and the outcome of it. So that's what's happening with me, and it's a story that's really dear to my heart because if you Google the 6888, you will find that they were the only African American unit to serve in the European Theater of Operations in 1945. So not only did they go over there to support the war effort, they had an incredible job that they had to do, being that there was I think 2 years of backlogged mail. They were a postal battalion, so immediately you don't realize how important that is, especially in this day of an age where we have phones and texting and emails and all of that. But the mail was incredibly important to morale back then. And it's the only way you knew whether your loved one was alive or you could communicate. And so what they did was they went and cleared out, they were given 6 months to do it. And they went and cleared out this backlogged mail in 3 months. And they did it twice in England and in France. And the entire time they were facing sexism, racism, and the Nazis. so so they really had a major feat that they had to take care of. And when you think of it, a lot of people just wrote the name of their loved one and United States Army on the envelope, or maybe their serial number, their number. And that's how they had to figure out. So there were 17,000 John Smiths serving, and they had to figure out how to route that mail to the correct place. So they didn't deliver the mail, but they did sort the mail. And you can find out more about it in the 6888 documentary, just the backstory. Mine is sort of a part 2 to that. And right now I'm looking for sponsors and financing to get that made. So I don't need a lot, but it's happening. And hopefully should be ready to enter festivals next fall. Not this
that's
fall,
great.
but the following fall,
Okay,
2022.
great.
2022. Mm-hmm.
22.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then I have a documentary short. Since you mentioned documentary shorts, that you like short form documentaries, I have one that's the next project, and it's about military sexual trauma. Yeah, that's going to come after that one.
Well, that's a deep topic.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah,
It's meant to be powerful.
Yeah.
stories that need to be told too, because it's like, I don't know a lot about that, but I just the stuff that I've seen is somewhat. There's so much good old boy stuff in the service that all this
It's
stuff that
true.
you have to be so brave to come forward with things like this, and a lot of courageous people there.
Well, I'm not alone. There's a whole group of us female veterans who are each playing a significant role, doing our part to create positive change for our sisters who are still serving. So, yeah.
Okay, so we have 59 minutes. We have to start closing the show. So
That's right.
Ed, thank you so much to be in Hot Topics, the podcast today.
Thank you for having me here. It was great. I survived it and I enjoyed it, so I'm happy.
It was really fun to connect with you today, Ed, and to have you as a guest. And I look forward to following your journey on YouTube. Will you tell us your YouTube channel and everywhere we can find you?
Okay, so I've got a website, CostaRicaStory.com, which is an easy one to remember. And my YouTube channel is YouTube, CostaRicaStory.com. And from my website, CostaRicaStory.com, you can kind of get to every place else because there's links to it there. So yeah, one of the toughest things is keeping up with the editing because we're in Costa Rica and I don't want to be. And right now I'm editing on a little laptop, so I'm used to having a big workstation. But I don't know. It is what it is, but it's great.
Well, keep up the good work. There's nothing like consistent content for the people who are following you, which is why we are so glad to be back delivering content like this for the people who share in our stories and the people we invite to Hot Topics. And we have so many more great people lined up coming in the upcoming weeks. We are going to be getting back to our verbal abuse series on our Instagram Live at Hot Topics, the podcast. On Instagram. So that's coming up too for those of you who have been listening to the verbal abuse series book that we've been discussing and who have been writing in and asking when we're coming back with that. We're coming, I promise. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. We're back in action. And thank you, Ed, for being a part of the show today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for your service. I meant to say that at the beginning.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's very important.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ed. I want you to step out so I can wrap it up the show, and thank you to be here.
Bye.
It was different today.
That was a different format, but it was cute. I liked it.
Yeah, it was different. It was cool.
So you got to mix it up, keep it interesting. That's right. Let's wrap it up. And when we come back tomorrow, I want to talk about this surgery that you had. So we're going to hear about Gloria's surgery. If you have not been following along on her Instagram at Gloria Gold 1111, then you don't know about the story. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow. So if this is your first time watching Hot Topics Live and you have made it this far, then go ahead and set your notification bell and follow us on our Hot Topics Live Facebook page. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. And set your notifications, that little bell, so that you know when we come live so you can catch our episodes. Or if you're watching us in the replay and you've made it this far, same thing. You're one of us now. So just set your notifications and be ready to watch the replays when it's convenient for you. Send us some love in our DMs. We love to get positive messages. We love to hear about what topics you want to hear about so we can find the guests to do that. And support our YouTube channel. We are growing very slowly, but we are growing. So go to YouTube, type in Gloria, Gloria, and Hot Topics Live, and you will find our YouTube channel. Okay, and subscribe to it and set your notification bell and support our channel. Make sure you watch on YouTube as well. So if Facebook is not your platform and you happen to see us here, you have choices. We like options. You can watch us on YouTube instead. Okay, so do that. We're going to be updating that page, making changes, making it cuter in the upcoming week. So stay tuned for that. Again, follow us on Instagram. And I am new on TikTok at Creativity, just like that, like what you see here. There. And what you see there on TikTok. So follow me on TikTok and share and spread the word. Tell your friends to watch. Have a watch party. I don't know, but join us again. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Kia Baker, the creator of Hot Topics Live, co-creator, and the Female Veterans Podcast, and Women Warrior Stories, and success coach at London Real Academy, and the Rose Method, and future author and CEO of magnum opus multimedia. So that's what I got going on. But I am joined by this incredible, sensational, alpha divine feminine who is just so amazing and inspirational. And I see Unbreakable Life with Glory doing big things. So make sure you're listening to that. There's a lot of new episodes of her podcast. And this sensation sits next to me, and she's my number one.
Exactly, like always, you know.
Mhm.
This is Gloria Goldberg, like he has said, Gloria Goldberg, the founder of the podcast Unbreakable Life with Glory, where I talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD, a natural way and a holistic way to always make you feel better. And also the founder and the host of the bilingual show, The Gloria. It's every Wednesday and Friday. And this Friday, I'm coming with two episodes back to back, one in Spanish and one in English. And the first one is going to be with Beatriz Rojas. We're going to talk about synergy. And the second one is going to be with Julia Posing. We're going to talk about his journey in Bali. So I'm so
Oh,
freaking happy.
I'm so happy. I miss him. Oh my
Yes,
God. I
yes.
miss Julian. He's fantastic. So
He's
I'm excited to
fantastic.
hear that. I might have to catch that one in the replay. I have my singing lessons, but
I know,
yeah.
but we're gonna do it super early because he cannot do it at the time that 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna do it at 9 a.m. Costa Rican time, so it's gonna
Ooh,
be 11
that's
a.m.
8 a.m. for me. Maybe I
Eastern
can
time.
click in
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
little bit.
yes, yes. So I have two shows early in the morning Friday because I run the shows the way the guests can. So this is what it is.
Amazing. Well,
So
I
let's
will be
wrap it
looking
up.
for
So
that.
thank you so much, everybody, to be in Hot Topics, the podcast where we create, inspire, and
Transform.
there you go. Thank you so much. And like Kia said, like, share, and put your notifications so you can see us when we come out. All right, thank you so much, and see you tomorrow with the story about the explants and how important it is to know about your health and when your body tell you what's going on to listen to the body. All right, so see you tomorrow. Bye bye. And I have to move different here today because we are in a different setup.